So class, today I'm going to show you 3 different types of draping. The first one will be for shampoo service. The second one will be for chemical service. And the third one will be for a haircut. And we'll just do these all in a row, right back to back. First thing is you're going to need 2 terry cloth towels and a shampoo cape. You want to take your client's collar always and turn it down. Client safety and protection is paramount in the beauty industry. Not only do you want to protect their skin, but also their clothing. So your client comes in from work and has on that $500 Gucci blouse. You want to make sure you don't mess it up by getting it wet, or if you're going to do a color service on your client, you don't want to get any color on her. So you tuck the collar down, and then cover your client with the towel like this and tuck the towel down into the collar. Second towel goes here and it meets the first towel. You bring it across in the front and tuck it. For shampoo service, you always use, for any wet services, color and shampooing, you always use plastic cape, waterproof cape. And there you have it, nice and secure and tight. You should be able to stick one finger in there. I messed up, we gotta do it over. So the second drape I'm gonna show you, the second draping technique will be for chemical service. It's much like the first one. You have the 2 towels that are connected where there's no gap. There's one thing I did forget on the first service, so I will take this one down and do it over, is that you always want to put a Sanex strip on the client underneath. One point you have to remember is that the shampoo cape, the neck of the shampoo cape or hair cutting cape never ever comes in contact with your client's skin. So that's the purpose. The Sanex strip kind of acts as double protection. The cape goes on the towel. The difference in draping for chemical service and a shampoo is the frequency in which you change the towels. If this client were getting a chemical service, you would constantly check for chemicals, if it's a cold wave, for chemicals that have dripped on the towel, for relaxer that's on the towel, and as soon as you notice the presence of chemicals, you want to change that towel, even hair color. Rule number 1 in cosmetology, you never ever want to leave your client with the wet, soggy towel on their neck. It's a really bad feeling and very uncomfortable. So this is the second method of draping for chemical service. The third method of draping I'll show you today is for a haircut. 2 types. Wet haircut, you'll do the same as a shampoo, condition, draping service. Double towels. The only thing is when you bring the client back to the chair, you want to towel dry them and remove all of the towels and put a dry Sanex strip on them and cut the hair. You want to be mindful of towels when cutting hair because they tend to be bulky. For hair cutting, draping, you will have the towel underneath the cape because you don't want it to get in the way of your haircut. Now here's what you have to be mindful of. One is that this doesn't come in contact with the client's skin. 2 is that there's no bulk of towels under here when you start cutting. A lot of times you can have something that looks like this and can dramatically change the projection of your haircut. Why? Once we get into hair cutting, you'll see that when doing, say, a 0-degree haircut, and you lay this hair down, you need the hair to be flat here, but the towel is causing the hair to protrude to make your haircut so your haircut will come out uneven. So you always want to make sure when draping for a haircut, a wet haircut, that you do not have bulkiness under here. Everything needs to lay flat and smooth. That's very important to have a successful haircut service. So, I recommend removing the towel or fixing it if you can where there's no bulk. I'm experienced, so I know how to do it, but maybe for starters, for starting out, you will want to just work with the Sanex. So in this case, for a hair cutting drape, wet hair cutting draping, you will take them to the shampoo bowl, do your shampoo and your conditioner, towel dry them as good as you can, bring them back to the bowl, remove all the wet towels, remove all the towels until your client just has a Sanex strip. You want to make sure the neck of the drape doesn't come in contact with the skin. Just put this on tightly, securely. Fold the paper down over the top. And now you're ready to begin your haircut. You see how much smoother that is? Okay. The last way I'm going to show you is for a dry haircut. So if you're doing a clipper cut or any other method, you're going to change up the type of drape you use. For a dry haircut, you always use a fabric drape. The reason for this is so when draping for a haircut, you always want to use a fabric cloth because when the hair falls on, for a dry cut, the hair falls off of the fabric cloth easy. So it's the same situation. You're going to put the Sanex around the client's neck. In this case, you don't need a towel. Just a Sanex. Once again, make sure the neck of the drape hits right on that Sanex. Doesn't come in contact with the skin. And there you have it. So those are 3 techniques for draping. One for shampoo and conditioning service or wet hair styling. The second one is for chemical services. And the third one, which is displayed now, is for dry hair cutting. Okay.